I had to switch to my tablet because my phone act like it don't got enough memory. So let's go from what I just said about he had offered me candy and stuff, and I was like, hell yeah, bring the candy on. Which I'm a kid, of course you're gonna think that. Like I tell myself all the time, like, bro, you the reason why that happened, which that's not right. So then he was like, I just want you to lay on the floor and I'll give you the candy. So then I was like, okay, I'm 6, he's 18. I laid on the floor, he turned the light off. Then I remember him turning off the TV, but I remember a light like to the left of my eyes, and I remember being like, hey, what light is that? Because, I didn't know or whatever. But what I think it was, I think he was just trying to leave the door open just in case somebody was to walk in or somebody was to walk close to the door and he could hear them. So then I remember laying on the floor and him sitting there and him he opened the door sideways, he came in, and him pulling out his privates. And I remember him like trying to put it on my mouth, but keep this in mind, I'm 6. What? That don't even make no sense. So he's like, just put your mouth on it. It's a lot of like bits and pieces that I truly don't remember. Like I don't remember full parts of it, but I know that he told me to put like my mouth on his private. And I remember that happening, and then I remember him getting on top of me. And okay, pause. Before he got on top of me, he had pulled my pants down. And I'm like, why is he taking down my pants and my panties? He's a boy. That's not supposed to happen. Mama, she the only one to take down my panties. You know what I'm saying? So then he had pulled my pants and my panties down, and he was like over me. And then I remember him like rubbing up and against me. It was kind of like hunching, I guess. But this hunching, it hurt so bad. Like I remember laying there like hurting so bad, and I know that he gonna whoop my ass if I tell him, hey, that hurts. I don't like playing like that. So I'm like, bro, he always want to whoop me. And mom and them not here to stop him from whooping me. The only time he didn't whoop me is when mom and them wasn't there. So then I was like, stop vibrating like that, tablet. Then I was, in my mind, this is what I'm thinking as a kid, like, let me just hurry up. This is the way he want to play and stuff like that. I don't like playing like this. And he was like rubbing himself up against me. So I remember it hurt really, really bad. And I remember after he like got done, I remember laying there for so long. Like I felt like it was so long. And I just remember looking over to the light in the hallway like, why ain't nobody walking in here? Because I'm wondering like, okay, well, my little brother and my sister, they not going to come in here. But I was thinking like his brother may come in here or anybody else. I was just hoping that somebody would come in there. No one came. He got up. I remember just laying there. And I remember this vividly because of the part that's going to happen next. I remember laying there. And he pulled up his clothes. And he was like, that's the only reason people gonna want to ever talk to you in your life. Like, people only gonna want to do that to you. And me, I'm like, what is he talking about? Because at the same time, I still don't understand what sex is. Nobody ever told me, hey, sex is this, and that, or whatever it is. Nobody told me that. I didn't know. How was I supposed to know? And I'm like, okay. And he walked out the room. I remember him walking out the room. So I laid on the floor for another like 3 minutes because he didn't tell me to get up. So at the same time, I'm like, bro, if I get up and he come back here and I done got up and put my clothes on, he gonna be mad and I'm gonna get a whooping. Because I already thought I was coming back there to get a whooping, but I didn't get a whooping. So I came back there and I just laid there and he didn't come in there. So I sat up a little bit and I'm like thinking back, and I know this may sound so fucking stupid because it sounds stupid to me and it makes me feel bad by even thinking about it. When I sat up, you want to know the first thing I thought about? Hey, he told me he was going to give me that candy if I laid on the floor. Like, he told me he was going to give me all that candy that was in the bag or whatever. So, I laid up, and I think my clothes were still down. So I pulled my clothes up so I could stand up and go and get the candy wrapper that he was talking about. So I went over to the wrapper of the candy that I was supposed to have gotten for laying on the floor because that's what you wanted me to do. It was nothing in there. It was absolutely nothing in there. But keep this in mind. The whole time, that's the only reason why I stayed in there, or the reason why I was like, okay, well, he's going to give me candy if I just stay here and hang out with him, and he not being mean to me or whatever. Soon as I figured out there was no candy in there, y'all want to know what I did? I started crying. Oh, I'm so sad. He made me stay back here for no reason, and this, and that, and I ain't got no candy. That shit was, bro, when I think about that shit now, like, I've dealt with it to a certain extent now. Not saying to the best extent, but it's to an extent to where it's like, damn, bro, people shouldn't do that to kids, man, because it really fucked you up way differently than what they were thinking at, and it did. So, now I'm like, damn, people gonna only want to, like, do stuff that hurts me like that, and they're gonna want to, like, give me stuff for it, and I don't want that stuff because there's gonna be nothing in there. I put my clothes up after I sat there and I cried maybe for like 5-10 minutes. I walked down the hall. Well, I peeped out the door to see if there was anybody out there just in case somebody was out there and I needed to sit down just in case I get a whooping. Peeped out the door. There was nobody out there. So I walked to the room where my little brother and my sister was in. And I was like, I just want to go in the room with them. I don't even know why I had to come out here. When I went in there, they were asleep. So I'm just watching the TV show by myself. And I just remember the whole time thinking like, dang, why you did it to me? Like, I don't want to play with nobody like that. Like, that's really sad. And I was like, well, why did you think? But as a kid, I was like, he already didn't like you. Of course he wasn't going to give you no candy. And I remember that same night, my mom and them coming home. And me wanting to go in there and go lay in the bed with them. But I didn't. Because I felt like if I got up, he was going to be mad and like whoop me or something. But I heard them when they came up to the house. And they came in my room. And they looked at us before we went to sleep to make sure we was in their sleep. I just wanted to tell them, Mom, can I sleep in the bed with y'all? But I didn't do that because when he came in there, I was already supposed to be asleep. But I wasn't. So if I was to say something about it and tell them I want to sleep in the bed with them, then they're going to be like, why ain't you sleep? She wasn't. So that was the story of that. And about, I don't even know why I'm crying, but there's no reason to cry about it. So shit happened, so let's go. After this story, I'm going to go into another story about how my whole stories are going to be about how long this happened, how other things happened that I let happen, and how it affected me in life. So y'all just keep following and like subscribe, and it's me. Like, everything I'm finna tell y'all is just my life, bro. Like, shit happens and you gotta deal with it. Now I'm at a perfect point of my life now. I don't have to worry about stuff like that, but at one point I did. So till next time, see y'all then.